means and
Services? Nope.
But first, a report on the Bakken oil fields in North Dakota, where employment and the economy are directly affected by the price of oil. Oil prices have dropped since their peak in 2014, and drilling has slowed, idling rigs and sending the once booming economy into uncertainty. Inside Energy's Emily Guerin takes us on a tour of Oil Bust Alley, a short stretch of highway where the boom and the bust of the oil industry plays out.
I see these guys are on the road and they have the nicest trucks. They seem like they have their own shit. So I drove this gear pump. They loved my work ethic. They saw that I was getting extra loads, doing this, never spilling, blah, 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 backing up, perfect, you know, blah, blah, blah. I used to pass up. It was so dangerous, man. Everybody's doing this. Pass up people up a hill.
Right.
And you know there's gonna be trucks coming down this hill, man. I had that much confidence. 18 speed, split gears, you know?
Yeah.
Floating gears, not even using the clutch. Passing everybody. So they found out and they were like, hey, we're not even gonna tell them we're gonna govern this truck, we're just gonna govern it. All of a sudden I'm just like everybody else. Fuck. I could do 2 extra loads with my speed that I'm, no. People were afraid of a truck going that fast. I mean, other truckers were like, that is too fast. You know what I mean?
You get killed, man.
Or kill them, you know?
After 9 years in the oil field, 14, 16 hours a day in the most dangerous. I could have lost my life several times from the day-to-day activities, just driving. Very dangerous highways. Highway 22, south of, or north of Dickinson. You'll find yourself in these 2-mile descents, 2-mile climbs.
It's like the Badlands of North
Badlands, that's exactly, the company that I started working with was Badland Power Fuels.
Okay.
Badlands Power Fuels.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the grades, I had my engine brake all the time on. Brrrr, all the time, I didn't even turn it off. Brrrr. When I'm not on the gas, the engine brake's on. Brrrr. And there was this time, woo-wee, man. First of all, people were losing their lives every day there, just on the highways. Head-on collisions, truckers, vehicles, anything out there. When I was out there in 2012, 2013, all the way to 2020, in those first years where the boom was actually happening, when there was hardly any regulation, people were overloading. You know, you have weight restrictions. Like I had the fastest truck in the company. And all the companies that I worked for had the fastest truck, the biggest truck, these 53-footer tankers. Wow, look at all those axles coming in on us. With a huge trailer, you just have to do 4 loads to everybody's 6. You get paid per barrel. And that's the thing that caused so many accidents out there, because everybody's rushing, rush. I mean, speeding, speed, man. Doing 85 down these treacherous hills on ice. People will overload on every load during the daytime, during the nighttime. Nobody was stopping them.
Okay.
Everybody wanted the oil market, the oil thing out there to succeed.
Right.
They knew that they needed workers. I saw this advertising from Halliburton. The CEO was asking for truck drivers. He knew of another guy in Killdeer that needed 500 truck drivers today. So here I am looking at what these guys are making. I'm still in Fargo. Oh, truckers are making $100,000 a year in the oil field. Oh, I kept on hearing they're making $120,000 out there, 110. Right. I couldn't stand it. I was like, I'm going out there. So I signed up with this company. They're like, oh, hey. They looked at my record. Okay, we'll fly you out to Utah, Vernal, Utah. You'll pick up your new tractor trailer, brand new. All right, we make our tractor trailers about $220,000 worth. All right, we put on the chicken lights, all the leather, navigation system, everything. Brand new trucks. The plastic's still on there.
Yeah.
So I get out there. They put me in a hotel and everything. Next day, they show me the truck. They want me to drive this thing. Everything is brand new. I'm looking at stuff that, my God, this truck is $250,000 right here. And then the trailer is another, They want me to drive this thing. Okay, Manuel, you guys take these trucks up to Williston. These trucks, my truck was governed at, I think, 79 miles an hour. I don't know how these other guys got around that governor, because I couldn't see them the whole way. I couldn't understand how these truck drivers all these years speeding like that. I mean, they were passing everything, sports cars and everything. Once I got to the oil field, I realized that is the mantra. This particular company, for some reason, you're not supposed to travel in convoys out there. But we traveled in convoys. We'd go to the Halliburton sand yard in Williston. We'd fill up with sand. 26 tons. You see 9 trucks, 15 trucks, brand new. Okay, you guys head out there toward Killdeer. These guys, man, they got on the radio. Everybody, let's go. Suddenly, everybody's doing 80 something out there. And these are highways that you have to pass people to pass. You have to, yes, 2 lanes. Opposing lanes. Except we were passing everything. And we wanted to stay in convoys. That's why all those accidents were happening. We were leaving Williston one time. They wanted me to run a red light. I was like, who do you think I am? Yeah. I'm not gonna lose my job. I know where it's at. I'll meet you guys there. Like, Manny, get the fuck up here. And then I was like, hey, listen, you motherfucker. So we did the job. We come back. I go to the driver's lounge. Everybody's just silent. I'm walking in there. I walk up to the guy that was saying a lot of stuff on the radio. Now, what were you saying? You wanted me to run a red light. He was all quiet, didn't say anything. I'm in the hallway now, waiting for the shower. All of a sudden, this fat guy, big guy, brushes up against me. I'm thinking that this guy wants to fight? No. What he did was, hey, you guys, Manny just pushed me. You saw that, right? You saw that. They're like, yeah, we saw that. I'm like, whoa. So here I am feeling some sort of, it wasn't racist, even though everybody's white. It was more of a, you're not part of us. We wanted you to run the red light. You didn't. You gave us all this crap. You talked all this crap on the radio. Now we want you out of here. So anyways, I go talk to the safety guy. Later on, the safety guy calls me back in. Manny, we're gonna have to let you go. I'm like, what? I was like, what? We're gonna have to let you go. I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. We know that, but you don't get along with the drivers. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I just left this, I was training in Utah with you guys. What am I gonna do? I hop in my pickup truck. I go to Walmart parking lot. This is like midwinter. So I'm running my engine in my little pickup truck, my Dodge Ram. It was 1500. Moving parking spaces so you don't want to, be, in one spot because of the security. You see everybody else trying to do the same thing, taking showers at the community center. I'm applying to all these jobs. I need something right away. CalFrac, everybody. Halliburton, everybody. CalFrac's like, okay, hey, you free for an interview? Yes. Okay, wow. I go to this interview. Manny, we want to call you back for a second interview as well. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to Bismarck. I'm going to spend the rest of my money in a motel room. But while I was in Williston, in the parking lot, there was this really cold night. And I'm telling you, as cold as it is in North Dakota, you know how cold it is. I see this guy, he has one of those Tyvek things, those building covers, in a ditch next to a fence. I'm telling you, I started crying.
Yeah.
I literally started crying. I drove up to this guy in the middle of the night. Get in here! This guy, no, I'm okay. No, you're not. He hops in. We're sitting around the whole day waiting for these phone calls, waiting for whatever. He wants to go back to Houston. He said that he was a driller and everything. He just seemed like a drunk. He knew about the oil field. It seemed like he would be competent enough, but he seemed like he was way beyond in the drinking. So I was like, hey, I'm going to go to Bismarck. I'm waiting for CalFrac. I'll drive you to Bismarck, and I'll pay for a train or a bus, wherever you want to go. It's like, oh, cool. Smoking cigarettes, sleeping comfortably on the way there. Okay, see you later. Dropped him off somewhere. spent $1,500 a week. I'm calling these guys. Okay, when's the interview? When's the interview? They're like, Manny, we decided to go a different direction. I'm like, what? What? I spent everything. What? No gas money, man. What? You know? And I'm like, okay, do I go back to the oil field or do I go to Fargo? So I came to Fargo, and I knew I had to go back out there. The money, I couldn't see making $50,000, $60,000. No.
After making all that
No,
money.
no.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a taste of the money. I got a few paychecks, and it wasn't even that much.
I see.
I walked up to this black guy. It looked like a beat-up truck, but it was his. And little did I know, if you invest in one of these beat-up trucks, whatever it costs you, for $7,000, whatever it costs you, you can make $1,000 a night tonight, man. You can make $2,000 if you have the trailer too, whatever it costs you. So I walked up to this black guy. I was like, "You're hauling oil?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "What kind of money do you make?" I started bragging about what we were making. I was like, "We're about $12,000 a month, man." And he was like, "Well, I'm about 20." I was like, $20,000 a month? I couldn't picture that. So we had some oil haulers in our company. I started to get to know them, and they're like, "Yeah, you guys are still messing around with 40 or 50, whatever that is." I'm 80,000 by June, 160,000 by the end of the year. With the bonuses, he's doing almost 200,000. And he doesn't look like they're doing 2 loads a night to the lack, sit at the lack forever, offload, and that's it. Come back, you get a nice truck, huge trailer, 53-foot big oil trailer. I thought, hey, that seems pretty lucrative, you know, but I didn't want to mess around even with salt water. We were doing fresh water.
Okay.
Because I knew that it has H2S in there, and it's very explosive. Salt water they use to frack, because when you're drilling, you need to weight the shaft down because of the gas that is trying to escape. You have the drill, and then you have the drilling mud. That's meant to keep the pressures of the gas that's trying to escape down there. That stops blowouts.
The initial steps are the same as for any conventional well. A hole is drilled straight down using freshwater-based fluids, which cools the drill bit, carries the rock cuttings back to the surface, and stabilizes the wall of the well bore. Once the hole extends below the deepest freshwater aquifer, the drill pipe is removed and replaced with steel pipe, called surface casing. Next, cement is pumped down the casing. When it reaches the bottom, it is pumped down and then back up between the casing and the borehole wall. Vertical drilling continues to a depth called the kickoff point. This is where the well bore begins curving to become horizontal. One of the advantages of horizontal drilling is that it's possible to drill several wells from only one drilling pad. When the targeted distance is reached, the drill pipe is removed, and additional steel casing is inserted through the full length of the well bore. Once again, the casing is cemented in place. Once the drilling is finished and the final casing has been installed, the drilling rig is removed. The first step in completing a well is the creation of a connection between the final casing and the reservoir rock. This consists of lowering a specialized tool called a perforating gun, which is equipped with shaped explosive charges, down to the rock layer containing oil or natural gas. This perforating gun is then fired, which creates holes through the casing, cement, and into the target rock. The perforation gun is then removed in preparation for the next step, hydraulic fracturing. The process consists of pumping a mixture of mostly water and sand, plus a few chemicals, under controlled conditions into deep underground reservoir formations. The chemicals are generally for lubrication, to keep bacteria from forming, and help carry the sand. These chemicals typically range in concentrations from 0.1 to 0.5% by volume, and help to improve the performance of the stimulation. This stimulation fluid is sent to trucks that pump the fluid into the well bore and out through the perforations that were noted earlier. This process creates fractures in the oil and gas reservoir rock. The sand in the frac fluid remains in these fractures in the rock and keeps them open when the pump pressure is relieved. This allows the previously trapped oil or natural gas to flow to the well bore more easily. This initial stimulation segment is then isolated with a specially designed plug, and the perforating guns are used to perforate the next stage. This stage is then hydraulically fractured in the same manner. This process is repeated along the entire horizontal section of the well, which can extend several miles. Once the stimulation is complete, the isolation plugs are drilled out and production begins. Initially water and then natural gas or oil flows into the horizontal casing and up the wellbore. In the course of initial production of the well, approximately 15 to 50% of the fracturing fluid is recovered. This fluid is either recycled to be used on other fracturing operations or safely disposed of according to government regulations.
That is the stuff that we're delivering to these oil rigs, these are huge rigs. And we're pulling up to these things and we're emptying them out. And so besides the traffic stuff, you got the poison gas, H2S, hydrogen sulfide. It's not only explosive, but it might as well be Zircon B. It'll kill somebody before you could finish your breath. 15 parts per million, your alarm starts going off. All right. Not only are you transporting poison gas in your water and oil, or oily water, you have to deal with what if you get into a accident. The terrain was extraordinarily difficult. Not only just the roads, but we would spend half our time off-road going to the sites. Sometimes it took you hours to get from the highway. And these dirt roads, if you're lost, you'll find yourself crossing some farmer's field. And you don't want to stop because you'll get stuck. Adam, the stuff that you see out there is as a truck driver, it's a war zone, and just the danger that is just waiting at any point of your job. Whether you didn't hook up the ground wire and there's a static charge and then it just blows up the whole
I see.
battery.
Right.
Or if you're loading fresh water into a trailer that previously had H2S in there and you're by the vent, that'll kill a guy.
Yeah.
Adam, I had a very close encounter. They sent me to this very sour well, and I needed to make a lot of money. I wanted to make a lot of money. They sent me to this H2S site, a lot of money. A lot of money. Beyond H2S, this thing had red flags, meaning no entry. No one enters this site. Adam, I didn't see those red flags. I went right in. A lot of money. Right into this site, climbed the catwalk, didn't even ground. I don't put chocks on it. Sometimes you are in the mood for the money. You know that every second there's going to be another truck in front of you at the disposal. So here I am rolling into this site that has no entry. H2S, too high of a concentration. I get there too early. There's no other person there. So I get on top of this catwalk, and you have to open these hatches. And every time that I open them, I always open up with my foot, because if you open them up, they're always pressurized. Bah! And when they open, in the middle of the night, it distorts your vision like you're seeing heat. Bah! If there was a spark now, you would be on Mars. So I'm at this site. I not only pop open one, bah, but this other one, bah. Luckily, they were so pressurized that the H2S and all the vapor went straight up. I'm in between these things. I don't have my monitor on. I come in there a second load, I see this guy with all these oxygen tanks. He's like, "You're not supposed to be in this site." I was like, "Oh, I just took a load from," "You took a what?" "It's 500 parts per million." I could have went like that, easily. Sometimes it's like you're on a different planet when you pull up to a dark H2S site. Sometimes you wonder what can happen. Strange noises. You don't want to hear anything strange. You don't want to smell anything strange, because you're a stranger. Radiation levels phenomenal. Water levels dropping. Oil levels steady. 10-4. Arthoid levels intersect plane by 6.2 Burnhams. The other time, so they have these wells over in Killdeer by the golf course, and they're way in. This was the steepest hill on and off road that I've ever been on out there. I've been out there for 9 years at the time. It's snowing now. I have these new snow tires. Everybody's chained up. Snow is settling on this deep incline. I don't have my chains on. I'm going to get the load. I want to hurry up because I want to be the first one out of here so I could be at the disposal first. Because if you don't show up there first or second or third, you might be waiting 2 hours. Sometimes you find almost 100 trucks. So I get to the site. I see people loading and chaining up their tires. I'm like, hey, I think I have 165 barrels. Fuck it. I left with about 145. I'm passing these other sites on the way, looking at all these guys, old, young, everybody, some women, chaining up. All right, super truckers chaining up. I'm like, I think I can make it. I go up the steepest hill. No sliding, nothing. Yeah. Expert. Yeah. I was so, my God, nothing, huh? Easy, easy. All right, it's pitch black now. Yeah. Top of the hill, there's a cattle guard. As soon as my drive axles get on this, in my head, I'm like, oh no, I got to chain up on this incline? I better hurry up. These trucks are going to be behind me soon. Yeah. Gauge the brake. I'm feeling this motion backwards for some reason. With the brakes on, the wheels are not moving. It's gaining speed. Immediately, what do you have to do? You have to take the brakes off, put it in reverse. You put it in reverse so you have control. Now, I knew I was going to lose control pretty soon in reverse. I'm accelerating. I'm almost 25 miles an hour at this point. I know behind me there's a site with things that you don't want to hit. I know beside me there's a ravine that you see in the daytime, and you know you don't want to put a truck down there. But on the other side was certain death. That ravine was so steep that you would have just So I knew in my mind, okay, you're fired. You're fired, right? I'm still going backwards now. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired, man. Okay, now don't die. Don't spill. Don't roll over. What are you going to do? 25 mile an hour, the road is starting to bend behind you. There's no way you have control. It's too slick. I understood that I had to put the trailer into the ravine, and I had to follow it in a straight line. And I knew that this was going to be so uncomfortable to cock your trailer into a ravine off a icy road in the oil field. I saw this trailer looking in the rearview mirrors. It went into an abyss, and I knew that I was attached to this thing. And I knew that you have to straighten out the truck, man. Otherwise, you're just going to start rolling down this hill. Right. You know, and when these trucks roll, you could be at 19 mile an hour and just flop over to your side. That whole cab, there was a guy that, the guy that had brain damage, just doing 19 mile an hour on a dirt road, flopped over. And then the volatile stuff that you're carrying, this stuff could explode with a spark. I saw the trailer do this thing. It looked like it went vertical. It's like I gotta follow that thing, man. Before I could even turn the truck, it whipped me straight like. I'm relieved now. Yeah. I'm straight. I'm going backwards down this hill straight. I'm doing 35 miles, but I'm backward. I'm straight. It's not. Now where's the trees now? I'm on the brakes. I'm standing on the brakes. The truck's at an angle like this. I see these trees picking up speed. I'm wondering, there's gonna be some natural gas outcrops down there. There's all kinds of stuff. There's so many sites down there. There's all these pipelines that are exposed. And then there's these drop-offs that I didn't know what was behind me. I ended up going about 200 meters deep into this ravine until I felt this thing hit the trailer. I see in the lights in my mirrors, I see the trailer starting to. I'm like, no, that's too fast. If it jackknifes now, I'm just gonna flip over and then keep flipping and then boom, 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 it's over. Yeah. Turned out that the trailer hit a tree, a big tree, knocked it, split it, angled that way. The tractor used the stump as a chock. During this time, I was carrying this little Bible in the visor. On the way down, I'm stepping on the brake. All of a sudden, this Bible hops, hits me right in the... I'm like, God gave up on me. This is it, man. This is it. God gave up on me. Look, he's throwing the Bible in your face. I was surprised how calm I was. I was like, this is really it. I put my back against the seat like, oh my God, I wonder how it's gonna feel, man. Should I lean like this? Or this is all in a split second. All of a sudden I feel the
stump.
Yeah, now I'm standing still.
Yeah.
I knew all these truckers were chaining up and they saw me leave. I know that these guys are gonna be coming up this hill pretty soon. It's dark. I'm so ashamed. I shut off all my lights. I hid down there for 45 minutes. I see all these trucks. Some of them had to go back with chains on every tire. Some of them were, they would have to go back into this one side, get all this momentum. After they all passed, I called dispatch. This is Manny. I'm over here. Da, 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 da. You're what? Yeah. So anyways, I sent one of my friends over. We had to string all of this hose, offload my trailer. So we took the whole night, man, sliding, sweating, because we're wearing these big winter suits. You don't wear them, you're freezing. But you're working so much, you hardly can walk. You slip in it. We finally get it offloaded. I see this guy trying to walk down this hill with a camera. He's sliding all over the place, can't even stand up straight. I look at I notice, yeah, that's the company guy. I can see his pickup on the top of the hill there. Marathon company man. Like, hey! I was like, hey, no spills, no property damage. He's like, yes! Are you hurt? No! The thing that made me slide, not only the cattle guard, it was the load.
It's so heavy.
It wasn't full.
Oh.
It allowed for the slosh. Boom,
the moment, yeah, that moment.
That's why I felt okay at 1 second, and then the next second.
So it's pounding you down the hill. Actually.
Yeah, it just takes one, because you stop.
Yeah. Boom. There it goes. Yeah.
Then you're now accelerating.
Yeah.
Backwards. It's the worst feeling on earth. And to put it in, to take the brakes off and to put it in reverse is even worse.
Right.
Because now you know you're
done.
This is where you're going. This is how you have to keep warm sometimes. Woo-wee! I think it's negative, I don't know, 11, something like that. Woo-wee! Woo! That is awesome. And it actually is working. That's great. Excellent. This is the Dakota way to stay warm. Awesome. Woo-wee! Energy independence, y'all. Then I got into this one thing. Since I drove these trucks up here that they're semi trucks, but they could dump. They're called end dumps. Not a dump truck, but with a tractor too. You know. I had experience here. No accidents, no nothing. You know, going back and forth. You know, 8 times a day to Augerud, way over there by Detroit Lakes and back and through town, delivering to all these construction projects and everything, offloading, you know, these huge, one of our guys hit a power line, he was fired right away. So I had experience doing that, even on this, for Fargo, when they used to have these floods, we used to dump inside the Fargo Dome sand so they could sandbag, and we used to dump clay on the dike itself. And that was very scary because you have a semi truck on these, there's just the river there and then there's a ditch down there, and it's very slippery. And sometimes the clay gets stuck in the dog box, so now your trailer's doing, and you're looking up at this thing and wondering, when is that thing gonna get out of there? Hey! You know, so no accidents, no nothing. I get to the oil field and they started this thing that they wanted to use wet cuttings from the drill pipe, from the well itself. They wanted to use this stuff and recycle it, break it down to its oil components. They wanted to even use it for antifreeze, some part of it, and then use the rest of the hot water for hot water fracks. Hot water fracks were the nights that we were making $1,000 a night easily, hauling fresh water to a live frack or a frack that's about to happen or stay. You could double bill them. You could run 3 books. That's how some of my freshwater friends were making about 175, 150,000 in front of my face. You could say it took so many hours for this, took so many hours for that, and there's fees, there's all kinds of things. It's a lot of money there. They understand that everything, if we don't get your trucks over here, somebody else is gonna get your trucks. It's a bidding war. So yeah, you would have people make a lot of money down there. Halliburton, all these companies such as huge companies, all the ones that are huge, would work for them exclusively. They would always ask for us because we had all the materials, we had all the trucks, we had all the drivers, you know, we had everything that everybody needed. That's why that company became a $1 billion company right away.
Here's something very funny. On top of this pump jack, there are birds. Look like pigeons. Get a better look at this. That's funny. Where's that comes from? These company birds. Where's your MRs? That safety glass down there. All protection. From sundown, or an hour before sundown, to 2 hours after sunup. All these birds. I don't know, seasick? Or what do you call that air sick? I'm not sure.
The owner of the Power Fuels company, he was a billionaire on paper. His name was Mark Johnsrud. He had a private jet. Brand new looking. He bought it from the Phoenix Suns coach. This thing would land in Watford City. He would get out of there. You see women walking out. Oh my God. He'd just hop into his Platinum Edition, drive to his ranch. Oh my God. The people that he hired to, you know, manage the place, the directors and stuff, each of their houses, it felt like the size of each one of their houses were huge. You can look this up on the satellite, and having a huge house in the oil field is a lot of money. Even these small dilapidated houses were selling for $400,000. But our company was huge. We would have 400 front end loaders, full size, all rented out all the time, never in the yard. Our uprights. You'll see in the oil field right now, you'd see power fuels on all these uprights, these frac. We had about 6,000 frac tanks that we would rent out and ship out. We had the whole thing covered in terms of services. We didn't drill, although we did have a surface drill. But so this company had a lot of money. Halliburton wanted to buy us out. We ended up partnering with Heckman, this huge trucking outfit, and that's when the stock went public. And so I asked Johnsrud, I caught up to him while he's going up to his office, his executive office. Hey, Mark, Mr. Johnsrud, what's going on? What's up? What? I'm like, hey, listen, if a guy wanted to invest $8,000 into this company, would you want him to do it? Would you, Manuel? I can't tell you what to do with your money, but it would be a good idea. I'm like, okay. I come back to Fargo, my dad's living here at the time, get $8,000, put it into the stock. The stock never went up. After that, see that cloud over there? Another day. The Badlands. Woo! Just nice. Awesome. The market those were the days where they started to ask us, hey, if you drivers just hang around here, since we don't have work for you guys tonight, and this started to happen occasionally, quite a bit, we don't have work for you guys tonight, just hang around the shop, we'll pay you $250 for, if you guys could leave at 1 o'clock in the morning, just stay here from 6 to 1. And I told you that 99% of us went back to the luxury apartments. We're not sticking around for no $250. I'd rather make nothing. I mean, our bonuses, our safety bonuses were like $5,000 every 2 months. Just because you're wearing your safety glasses and you're hooking up your truck and you have your chains out. There was a lot of money there. And so we got stuck up, and we had a guy that was running a hydrovac, and he was making the most out of all the drivers, because he would set up at a well or at a drill rig, and they would use them the whole day for weeks on end. You know, all you have to do is just suck up something that needed his suction, and he didn't have to fill up huge tanks. He would just fill up 50 barrels, 100 barrels, and then take off, come back, and whatever. So he was getting about $45 an hour. So he would get all these toys. All of a sudden, he bought this $19,000 off-road thing. Like, what do you need that for?
Right.
Off-road, $19,000. But then I bought a power wagon. Now, the thing that made me get this pickup truck, I saw two of my friends. I didn't know that they were the owners of these brand new Dodge 350s. Everything looked beautiful on these trucks, these huge 3500s. Who the hell drives those? I kept on seeing these things from my luxury apartment every day, wondering who the hell drives those. Found out it was my goofy ass friends that arrived there 2 years after I did. I'm like, no way. Where'd you guys get those? Dave Smith. How about the credit? They'll work with you. Really? So I go to Dave Smith Auto in Idaho, Kellogg, Idaho. I ordered this truck like a month before.
Okay.
So I called them up. We put this thing together. I'm saying I want the leather, two-tone leather, two textured leather. I want the door, the step thing, the automatic step thing. I want the 8.5-inch screen. I want the tow package, plus I want the winch. I want everything. A power wagon. A power wagon is a toy. Manual, we're at 66,000. 66,000, Manual. Okay, that's good. That's good. The guy tried to stop me from buying it. He was like, Manual, this thing is only gonna get 6 miles per gallon. That's like your semi-truck. I was like, you know what? You're a great salesman. Sold. So anyways, I take the train out there. I get out there, Manual, your truck's not done. They're still putting it together. Like, wait a second, I'm making the first payments already. I'm paying insurance on this thing already.
Yeah.
I'm picking it up. Your salesman, he's in the mountains. He's camping with his family in the mountains. He doesn't expect you to be here. I'm still gonna pick it up. You know, I'm on the phone in the dealership yelling at my friends because I don't know who to yell at. I don't want to yell at anybody. So I was telling my friends, these guys don't even have the leather put in. They don't even got the leather put in. I'm paying all this money, they don't got nothing. I feel this tap on my shoulder. They're like, look over there. I was like, yeah, I saw that Corvette. No, look outside. That's your pickup truck. I was like, what? I saw this pickup truck, silver, shiny, big wheels. Oh my God, the wheels were, oh my God. Thin, huge wheels, grapplers. Everything shiny. He was like, there's your truck, Manuel. Everything shiny. I started to shake everybody's hands. Everything shiny. Thanks, guys. Thank you. There was this hot chick that was driving it from the detail shop. You don't see a lot of women in the oil field, especially hot ones. She comes out in Daisy Dukes, legs, oh my God. I literally told her, move, I'm looking at the truck. Seriously, everything shiny. Some of the salespeople hopped in there. Manuel, we want to show you the functionality of this truck. No, I want it, okay? I don't have to go do anything in the mountains, right? Manuel, you'll see what it can do. No, I don't have to go on a test drive. Put it on Rap Nation. See you guys later. Drove right up to Watford City. This is 2013. Nobody has a $66,000 pickup out here. Even the owner, the billionaire owner, he has something that looks like that over there, that Chevrolet, but it was a Ford that's passing this way. It was a Platinum Edition. Oh, big deal. He would stare at this thing. Everybody stared at it. Woo-wee! When I brought it up to you'd have 400 drivers. Woo-wee! Swampers, executives, managers. I would wash this thing twice a day. We had a wash bay. Wax it. Woo-wee! Shift change, that thing was parked right at, nobody wanted to park next to it. You just see this thing just, everybody's trying to look through the windows, they can't see nothing. Whose is this? Manny's. He was saying stuff on the radio about he was either gonna get a Power Wagon or one of those Nissan, you know, the fastest Nissan that they have. It's like an $80,000, $90,000, $95,000 car. But it does 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. That would have been extremely dangerous for me. I was renting my friend's Corvette in the oil field, and I'd take it like on my days off, and I'd find myself doing 135, 150, passing 15 trucks.
So you got the big pickup truck. So what happened to it? You have it now?
No. That pickup truck, I was making payments on it like $710 a month, and then insurance was $210, something like that. Yeah, it's nothing. Apartment costs $1,200 a month, and it was a 1-bedroom. And we had the money. It's not like, you know, we had to find it. I think I made, from the time that I was there, I was barely making $90,000 a year. 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, things started to drop off big time. 20, that's when it went negative. 8 years pretty much. And that's all stuff from hauling frac sand, fresh water, oil, and salt water. I didn't get my hazmat until last year, but I was hauling oil, but it would be called oily water. The company, this is the multi-billion-dollar company. Manuel, you got to pick up that load. It's oil, yeah, but just call it oily water. So anyways, and plus we're a huge company out there, and nobody wants to mess around with the cash cow. And this is a huge company, just one, and we're all spending on taxes and food and beer and apartments and houses. They started buying houses. But I thought that was going to be a 30-year process, so I decided, hey, I'm going to go on the 5.2s or 5.3s.
So anyways, you know, I've been talking about these for a while, these speakers. I'm in my office right now. Yeah. Anyways, so these are Martin Logan speakers, and you probably can't see too well here. The light's off. Yeah, it's off. Anyways, you can see through these things, and they produce sound on such a high fidelity. and the power behind them, I have to keep the base on extremely low, actually minimum, below minimum, and the amps have to be tuned way down, all right? But yeah, this is my office. Studio / office / bachelor pad that I need to clean up sooner or later. I'm pretty bad at that. I'm almost like one of those, how do you say, how do you call them? Those guys that collect things. Just too many things.
So 5 days on, 2 days off, 5 days on, 3 days off. 3 days off, I'm in the Corvette. After smoking, seriously, passing people. I'm going up this hill that I'd go up that hill at 140. And in the truck, I got to the point that I could see, like, if there's the slightest bit of moonlight, I could shut off all my lights. Nobody else can do this. And I could actually drive for miles. Turn off all my lights. It was so freaky. You would go like through the bridge itself, the steel bridge. Yeah. You'd see these big looming shadows. What I learned to do was look at the white line. You could see the reflection of whatever, and you know where the road is. I also learned how to look at the white line through my mirrors and drive straight. Just gauging from where the white line is, you could gauge that, okay, this is going to be a turn. Sure. That was essential when your windows they fog up sometimes. Yeah. That happened in town here in Fargo. Okay. My defrost, for some reason, I couldn't see anything. I'm in the left lane. Yeah. I'm doing 65. Yeah. I know I could kill people doing this. Right. I got to get in that other lane. Right. So I learned to look in the mirror at the line. So you know if you're going straight, if you know if you're...
So you can look while you're
from
driving forward.
Yeah, from the past.
Yeah.
It's kind of like trading. The way that, seriously,
yeah,
it really is. I'm in the oil field, and I'm, perusing all these money-making things because I have money in the bank, and I'm thinking, hey, I'm going to do something with this. Right. I view about 12 to 13 timetables, starting with a monthly, weekly, daily, and then I break those down into threes. And through all of this, you could determine exactly where price has its support and resistance. In the hours, the hundreds and hundreds of hours that I spent, thousands of hours I spent looking at these charts and experimenting with the knowledge that I gained from, not the full knowledge, just a small fraction of it. I thought, I'm going to figure this out. And at certain points, I'd be like, right there, but then I couldn't do that again. There's something that changed somewhere else. So finally, after many years in the oil field, every day I would be on these charts, just practicing, just figuring out, just losing, just getting disappointed, just wondering what in the world are they doing that I'm not doing? When I got back here, I bought a $3,000 computer and then a $2,000 TV to add to the $2,500 laptop and the $1,500 graphics accelerator card. And I wanted to see everything in totality. I wanted to see every cause and effect. I needed to know exactly why this is impacting this, because if you're just looking at one time frame, you don't know that other time frames are seriously impacting price. Sure. It may look like it's a trend, but it will be reversed in the most awful way possible. You will lose a lot of money very quickly. And I did. Oh my God, at one point I saw this negative 6,000, 5,000 ticking away. I mean, you're seeing these numbers. I'm making all these mistakes, waiting it out, adding more money so that I don't get a margin call. Every time I got in, I thought that the market might even seem like it's actually targeting you, just you. I didn't have the timing correctly. I didn't see what they were seeing. The money that I made was just an accident. And you go on some of these websites like the Forex Factory, they'll actually flag upcoming high impact news for currency pairs. That's when the market actually, if you know what you're doing, you could actually profit from those kind of moments. But that's when the market is very volatile. It could move so quickly. You could be wiped out. But there's things that could stop you from losing, even $10. You could put stop losses in. I didn't want any losses. So I even added money to losing trades.
So you went on your sabbatical. We didn't cover your sabbatical. Did you want to talk about that or no?
The sabbatical that I'm still on right now?
Yeah. So
the sabbatical, well, it allowed me to get everything out of my system in terms of, hey, I want to smoke pot all day, right? And play video games or study the markets. And you cannot do this in the oil field. And in my mind, I'm kind of like those Amish, when they have that summer they get to experience whatever, modern world, whatever. Hey, you put in 14, 16 hours a day doing that crazy stuff out there. I deserve a break. It's like coming home from Vietnam. When I got back here, it didn't even feel like time passed. I'm talking to my friends like they're supposed to know me and be as personable as we used to. People are not answering the phones. They're like, hey, I'm at a little league. I don't have pot. I stopped doing that. Yeah, until I found out, there's a medical marijuana card? I could apply for it? And this is when oil started to hit negative territory. So there was no future. And I knew, hey, I'm not going to spend all my money paying rent here in the small Killdeer town. So I was like, hey, I'm not going to spend all this money here. I'm going to do it in Fargo. And I'm going to chill the hell out. Right. And that's what I did. Read books, played video games, stayed on the market all the time. I'm climbing out of it now. Right. Because I've spent too much money. Right. Over around 10,000. Right. All right, so now it's time to come back out of that because you could crash. Right. And I could lose a lot of things, a lot of progress.
Eons ago that if they do interfere in any way, even if it's helping a planet such as ours or civilization such as ours, it's not meant to do that. Or I don't know. But I think that, yeah, we are one of those planets that they're trillions like ours, and to make any sort of special trip out here would be, an exercise in something they could have done somewhere else that they already did before. There's civilizations that are just like us but more advanced and have different. Yeah, this truck is taking the lead. Let's let. That's a Peterbilt, I think, or Kenworth. Yeah. So these aliens, and there is proof. I mean, there's lots of proof of these aliens visiting us, or their probes or whatever. And I want to get into this, the propulsion system, the way that they project a magnetic field in front of the ship to cause some sort of gravitational effect that can pull them at speeds that you would have reached, when you're approaching a black hole or something. So they create their own artificial black hole, or at least a fraction of its strength, to travel at these insane speeds.
I know the NT. First thing I remember knowing was that lonesome whistle blowing. Any youngest dream of growing up to ride on a freight train leaving town, not knowing where I'm bound. Ain't no one could change my mind, but mama tried. One and only rebel child from a family meek and mild. Yeah, my mama seemed to know a lady store. Yeah, despite my Sunday learning, toward the bad I kept on turning to. Mama couldn't hold me anymore. And I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. No one could steer get me right, but mama tried to raise me better, but her teeth now